behind the scenes with future country rock blues kings and queens. Discover 'em first with Palm Mash TV. Palm Mash TV.
Well, hello there. It's Palm Mash TV time again. Thank you so much for joining us. Another great interview is coming up in just a moment, but before we begin, click that subscribe button and bell buttons below you there, and you're going to be notified of any new episodes coming your way. And if you'd like to leave a comment on the comment section below, you're welcome to. We'd love to hear from you there. And paying attention to the description part as well as the closing credits at the end of the show, because we'll have content info for you, so stay tuned for that. From the country of Portugal today, we have Steve Andrews. Very awesome artist, I think you're going to agree. And we'll get to that in a second, but first we have a quick word from the Caden Gordon Show and Woody's Drumsticks. And remember, when checking out at Woody's Drumsticks, type Palm Mash TV as the checkout code and you'll get 10% off your order. So don't go away, we'll be right back right after this.
It is Caden from the Caden Gordon Show. Today's best country mix. Check out my show at thecadengordonshow.com.
At Woody's Drumsticks, we focus all of our sticks on being a hair longer than everybody else's. Why? Well, all of our sticks are going to be going through the same quality control process as every other stick on the planet. However, the extra length gives you an extended reach, so you can reach for higher cymbals. It makes the sticks last a little longer. We put our shorter taper at the end, which gives more girth in the base of the stick and allows you to play for longer, better, stronger, faster. So once you switch from one brand to Woody's, you'll never go back, and that's a guarantee.
Okay, we're back, and with us from the country of Portugal, we have Steve Andrews with us today. Thanks for coming on the show, Steve.
Oh, you're welcome, Paul, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. I'm glad to have you here today. Well, how did it all begin for you? I mean, as far as being an artist, I mean, have you always wanted to be an artist? Or are you in the musical family? I mean, tell everybody about that.
Okay, I'm not in a musical family. In fact, I've never had really any encouragement from my family. I haven't even got much family. I've got a nephew and niece, but my parents are gone, and I had a son, and you know, they've all passed. So it's only me really left. But none of them really encouraged me. My son did. He wanted to be a singer himself. His name was Isaac, and unfortunately, he's no longer with us. He was an epileptic. But you know, me, it's always been like, I've always thought, well, it's something I want to do. I can go back to my teens. I was in school, and we had what they called then a careers teacher, and the careers teacher was saying, so Stephen, what do you want to be when you grow up and you leave school? I said, I want to be a rock star, sir. You can't be that. That's not a proper job, he said. So, you know, that was what I wanted to do when I was a teenager. And basically, which something I say a lot, was that Bob Dylan was the guy that really motivated me. I remember like listening to Bob, you know, in my teens, and even when I was younger, in fact, and I was thinking, wow, the lyrics just kind of stand out. They grabbed me, his lyrics. There was nobody else was singing like that. So I always had this idea that I'd like to be some kind of a singer-songwriter, protest singer, whatever, you know. But I would, you know, also like no problem with being a pop singer or a rock singer, you know. I like all kinds of music. So I would say I'm basically eclectic, because I do listen to all sorts of music. I appreciate all sorts of music. All sorts of music has influenced me. So like when I was younger, again in my teens, I used to listen to a lot of Tamla Motown and soul stuff. So that was a big influence on me. And I got into listening to blues. I got into listening to folk. And I started going to concerts. So I went to a lot of festivals and rock concerts and things. So it's basically been a whole lot of music has had an influence on me. Mm. But I would say, you know, people say, well, what do I do? So I'm a singer-songwriter, really, is what it comes down to. And I also say that it always starts for me with the word. because like the words come to me before the tune. And what I normally do is I write the words down, and then I pick up my guitar and I see what chords I can come up with that fits with the words I've got, and I sing it through. And sometimes it doesn't take very long. It can take maybe like half an hour for everything, you know, for me to write the words and find the tune, and then that's it. Then that's the song. And then, but I always think that it's kind of confirmed for me as that's the song done if I then can play it live somewhere. Because like if an audience likes it, then I think, all right, you know, that song, it's done, you know. It may have a few tweaks from time to time. And the other thing that I say is, I'm just thinking about Dylan again, because a lot of people say, well, Dylan always changes how he does his songs. Well, I'm not as extreme as Bob is. And you know, I said, like, Bob can do what he likes with his songs. But what I tend to do is I may change the words a bit here and there, or I may slow the song down or speed the song up, or if it's got a chorus, I got an audience singing with me, then I sing it a bit longer. You know, so it's never exactly the same, and it's never the same as, you know, any recording I've got, because if you record professionally in a studio or something, you know, you've got all different levels, you maybe got different instruments on it and whatever. When I play live, it's just me and the guitar, and however it turns out, you know, that's really how I work, how I perform.
Okay, well, that's a great story. And you also mentioned Bob Dylan as an influence, but you also said you were influenced by all kinds of different genres, which is what we do here on Paul Mash TV. We don't have a genre we don't like. And so that's good that you like Bob Dylan. I think a lot of people really were influenced by him.
I think there's a lot of people out there that would say, yeah, it was Bob that was the one that really got us going.
Okay. Well, why don't you tell us where we can find out more about you? I mean, I'm sure you're on streaming platforms, social media, you know, streaming media, official website, you know, so forth. Go ahead and tell us about all that.
Well, I mean, music site, I mean, Bandcamp, I'm on Bandcamp, I'm on Reverb Nation, SoundCloud. I'm on, you know, all the other social media platforms. I'm on X and Instagram and Facebook. And you've announced my title, The Bard of Ely. And I'm just going to say, like, if you're looking for me online, it's easy to find me under The Bard of Ely. You know, Ely, E-L-Y. If you look, just Google The Bard of Ely, you'll find me. And like on some of the music sites, like Bandcamp, I'm on there, Bard of Ely, like one word, B-A-R-D-O-F-E-L-Y, Bard of Ely. And I'm easy to find as Steve Andrews as well, but I'm also like, I'm an author. So there's, you know, a lot of books out of mine. Well, when I say a lot, there's like 5, and there's another 2 in production now. So that's something else I do. And again, that's obviously the word, you know, I was saying, like when I write a song, the words come to me first. So I don't have any problems writing. I also got some poems out published, and I've written in my time, I don't know how many like articles, and I've written for some newspapers, like I used to live in the Canary Islands in Tenerife. I've written for loads of magazines and websites, and so basically, like, I'm a writer, you know, is what it really comes down to, and that's again, that's like why I like Bob Dylan, because I always think of Bob's a writer, and it's his words that hit me, you know. So I'm the same. Like I think in terms of words. I get my words out there. That's my creative, you know, the spark where it starts with the words.
Okay, well, go out there on all those streaming media and all those other sites he told you about. And I know you won't be disappointed. And we're about to play this video from him. It's called "What Will You Do, Elon?" It's about Elon Musk. Is there a story behind this song, or is it self-explanatory? Tell us about that.
Paul, there is a story behind all of my songs. There's a story about just about everything I do. I mean, I can talk for hours, but the story behind this song is of interest anyway, because I'm sure you've heard people who are singer-songwriters, they say a song can just come to them, you know, and that's what happened with this song. I was actually walking back here from the supermarket, and it just came to me in my head, you know, I'm just getting like the line, like, what will you do, Elon, if there's already Martians on Mars? And then the rest of it came to me, you know, the first verse and chorus. So when I got home, I wrote it down on a bit of paper. And then I had a go with the guitar to come up with some kind of tune. And then I posted like a little video of it online, and people liked it. And funnily enough, I got in touch with Grok, you know, Elon's AI. And Grok liked it. And everybody that heard it liked it. So people are saying, well, you know, when are you going to finish the rest of it, Steve? And you were looking forward to this. So then I put some more words to it, and that's it. So I had like, you know, a few verses, and I got the guitar worked out, and then I recorded the video that I think you're about to show. And I'd just like to say, even before we see it, that like Grok, I'm thinking of Grok as maybe my #1 fan, because Grok has said some fantastic stuff, and Grok created some artwork for me as well. Anyway, this is one of the things Grok said. I love it. This is a charming, upbeat folk comedy number with real heart and personality. It is playful without being mean-spirited. Exactly the sweet spot for this kind of song. So that's what one of the great compliments Grok gave my song. And Grok also said, the whole thing had that classic protest folk satire energy. Think early Bob Dylan or novelty tunes, but with a sci-fi optimism. It would sound great live. I can already picture the audience chuckling at the Martian Tesla line and nodding along to the Trekkie part. And you'll find out what Grok was talking about now when we hear the song, because I do mention that I'm a Trekkie in it, which I am because I love Star Trek, and I also mentioned the Martians on Mars and the Tesla cars, and I think maybe Paul, take it away. Let's see and hear the song.
Okay, we'll get to that in a second. I know you guys are going to love it. But Steve, thank you so much for being on the show today. We would love to have you come back on the show sometime. So let me know if you ever have anything new to plug.
Okay, yeah, would love to. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay, well, here it is. What Will You Do, Elon by Steve Andrews. It begins right now.
What will you do, Elon, if there's already Martians on Mars? What if they don't welcome Earthlings and they really don't need Tesla cars? I like your idea of interplanetary. I'm a Trekkie fascinated by space, and I believe in aliens. I don't think we're alone as a race. You're a most unusual billionaire. You really make us all think, with your warnings about AI, to coming up with Neuralink. Will you bring us all a bright future? Will your plans help to save Earth? Elon Musk, can you do it? Can you show what you are really worth? Will this song get added to the repertoires of musicians on the streets who busk? Will the starships of the future owe it all to Elon Musk? What will you do, Elon, if there's already Martians on Mars, and they don't welcome Earthlings, and they really don't need Tesla cars? What will you do, Elon? What will you do, Elon? What will you do, Elon? Well, that was a new song called What Will You Do, Elon? I'm Steve Andrews. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.